We are operating on a frequency of 52 megacycles by authority of the Federal Communications Commission. A test program follows. To you who are trained technically, I need hardly say that there's still a number of problems to solve. I guess you know them as well as anybody knows them. But I think we've proceeded far enough to justify the statement, at least, that these technical problems are not insurmountable.
And good evening, everyone. And I'm sorry if you heard Brett sort of, I don't understand what any dancer that requires only half your body. I agree, Brett. I don't understand dancing that only requires half of your body. But hey, here we are. And I've even unmuted us, so I'm actually quite proud of that.
Yeah, you did it. Good job.
So, welcome back to the KOTE show. We've had a few weeks off. I needed to recharge. Brett needed to recharge. We had to remind ourselves a few things, like why we're doing this. So it's good to be back. We are going to be kicking off KOTE 10 today. This is the last KOTE event. We're not just going to turn around at the end of this and say, oh, we'll do one more. This will be the last KOTE event. Unless someone wants to pay us about 200 grand each, then we may consider doing another one. Wow.
Well, I mean, with the official client coming, we wouldn't be opposed to FFG coming to like offering us official team tournament organizer positions, but that depends when the actual client comes up.
Yeah, I mean, the hiatus is all very interesting, and just to be very clear here, we did decide to give this up way before the hiatus was announced.
Yeah.
That's just pure coincidence. And
I mean, in all honesty, you got to say, according to like the dev comment on Facebook that was trying to explain a little bit more, it was around about the same time when the devs and the artists found out that the algorithm was gone, that coincidentally you said, let's make 10 our last one. Around like 6 to 8 weeks ago. So it's kind of spooky, some kind of singularity point.
Yeah, very soon. Hi Ultimo, hi Lethos, hi Finn. So yeah, I mean, it's, let's say, I'm really proud of what we've done here. We've done 9 good events, hopefully it'll be 10. We've had over 260 different teams in. That's unique teams. Some teams have changed their names. We've probably had over 1,000 players in for all the ones that come in and out over the course of the last 2 years. If not 1,000 players, pretty close to it. Chris Lee wanted to kill the game. I didn't want to kill the game, but I will say one thing, Ultima. I will say is I didn't see how the game could survive at the same rate. And I'll say this here publicly, and I've said it to most of the people who've asked behind the scenes. The problem I always had with Dark Tidings is mechanics are awesome. They are amazing, but they are impossible for a new player to get competitive with easily. We've got the power creep and complexity creep has hit, and I don't see how they come back from that.
Yeah, it kind of is. If you come in at Dark Times and you look at the other sets, they look a lot simpler, but they're also a lot more powerful. It's not. You got to think a game like Magic the Gathering has been going for 25 odd years, and it's got consistent keywords. Every so often they will try something new, like the flip cards that came in about 10 years ago now. They will try other stuff, but the main keywords stay the same throughout it. The main mechanics stay the same throughout it. Dark Tidings, like you said, I had some really interesting features, and the introduction of the Tide was very interesting.
It was brilliant.
But I've got kind of the opposite view to you. Yeah. To me, Dark Tidings feels like a power crept AOA sort of something. It's a more combo-based, more board-based situation.
Sorry.
Than Mass Mutation or KOTE.
I did not mean to say power creep earlier. I meant to say complexity creep.
Well, complexity. But yeah.
But yeah, right. Me, still, I agree with your point there completely.
For me, around Mass Mutation is when I started to get hit by this wave of deja vu sort of repetition. Mass mutation to me felt a lot like KOTE, but with extra pips around to make every house as powerful as, say, Untamed was in KOTE.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dark Times came up, and it felt like AOA. It felt like this combo board based. Have a strategy in mind, and that's how you've got to play the deck. And if you don't get it, you're going down, sort of way. But that just might be my experience with the actual set.
Yeah.
But to me, it felt like then you got the Winds of Exchange coming, and then we've got another house which isn't one of the two houses that has been spoiled. Well over a year ago now. It looks like some sort of buggy arachnid sort of house, and it just I don't know. It just feels like it's going from a underwater to a sort of forest bug one. Seems to me like when the tide isn't going to be featured again, so it was a one set thing that's going to disappear with that set, and then new players that are coming in on the Winds of Exchange will go to events, and they'll have to face the tide, and the fact that the Winds of Exchange is the first set to get rid of 3 houses in a single go. No shadows, no logos.
I don't mind that so much, but it is questionable.
It feels really ambitious to put for the Winds of Exchange to be doing all this when the game is really struggling. COVID has been the biggest thing this game had to go against, and the loss of Worlds, the loss of Vault Warrior, and
the loss
everything else.
The loss of everything from FFG during COVID. I mean, it's not just the loss of events. It's the loss of commitments and the joke that was play online using a webcam.
That Crucible cast was just awful to hear them just go. Yeah, you can still play online. Just use webcams, and you don't need on a laptop. You can just tilt the webcam down. It's like I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and you're right. You can, but it's shit. Got to be frank. I mean, I'm
telling us that we needed a webcam or a computer or stuff like that to play was a bit insulting, and it really did annoyed me to hell when they said that, because they know TCO's there. They've already acknowledged Dexa Keyforge. They know TCO's there. TCO has kept this game alive.
Yes.
And I understand for legal reasons they cannot acknowledge TCO.
Well, there's things they could have done. I mean, it's more of the case of it's hard.
Yeah.
And they need to. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on to happy things. That's kind of why we're moving away from this. We just feel a little bit burnt out, for lack of a better word, on the game.
Well, you got to think we've only had 1 or 2 weeks breaks per event, and the amount of work we put into this, especially seeing as you're getting more work with your job as well.
Yep.
It's kind of ridiculous. I'm feeling burnt out on my side, and you put in the same amount of hours as me weekly with your job, and yours is all coding and a lot more mentally taxing than my recording and editing side of it.
Let's not have that debate here, because I'd say recording and editing is equally taxing, but that's another conversation. That's for where we get a chance for a beer.
I'm not diminishing what I'm doing. I'm not diminishing any editor out there.
Good.
But if I make a mistake editing, I can literally just undo it. If you make a mistake with a code, publish that code, and it causes an issue 16 lines down, you've then got to scour your entire code to find out where the issue is. Whereas I can see where an issue with an edit is kind of quickly.
So Brett's just saying this because guess what I spent the last 24 hours doing. So let's bring on to the KOTE directory now. The KOTE directory is still alive and kicking. The URL will change. I do need to contact CKM to update their links, just simply because I didn't want to do it before it was ready. And so we will be showing off what looks identical but a new URL for the KOTE directory. A few people will ask, why do we change the URL? And the answer is very simply, I had to move hosting, and I thought if I have to move my hosting behind the scenes for everything, let's do this all properly. Let's go back to what the principles, core part of my job really is to advise people how to build these sorts of systems. They're normally there for banks, not for tournaments, so that they can have outages and no one gets upset. And so
it's currently being Harry Pottered under your staircase. Yeah,
currently it's sitting on one of my home lab systems at home. running in OpenShift for those who are technical, and it is all accessible and working, and we will be walking through it shortly. I've just pushed a change a few minutes ago, so crossing my fingers that hasn't broken at all as we're now live streaming. But we will see. But you will see that it looks the same. Fundamentally works the same. It's just now running at my house, not in the cloud. So, I think now would be a great time to say let's talk about firstly the prize support for KOTE 10, then let's revisit the formatting. So, prizes for KOTE 10. Now, KOTE 10 is the largest prize pool that we've ever had, and there's a couple of reasons for this. The first reason is I want to get shit out my house. The second reason is we've had more donations from more players. So the winning team will get 3 of these amazing KOTE 10 playmats. Brett will also get one. And I think they look beautiful. We also have sleeves to go alongside them.
No, we don't.
Do we not?
Sleeves this time.
Do you have sleeves this time?
Remember, Dragon Shield no longer ships to the UK.
Ah, that was it, yep. So thank you for our awesome artist and her partner in Ecuador. They've done once again an amazing job putting this together. I don't know how they do it as quickly as they do. We will have hopefully an updated layout for Twitch next week. I just kind of forgot to ask for one until like 20 minutes ago. So hopefully next week she'll have had some time to put one together, more than the 5 minutes I gave her today.
And we will also be doing a giveaway when it comes to the top. When we get to the top 8, we'll start the KOTE 10 giveaway where we'll be giving away one of the playmats.
But you're running ahead, man. You forgot some of the other prizes for the Top Cup.
I have. We're just going through the playmats there.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah. Also, we have 1 second. Let's just sort out my Prime sub. Also, we have a load of AOA decks to give away. So we are going to be giving. We've got a total of 2 boxes of AOA to give away. So we're going to be giving, I think it was a box of AOA to the team that comes. No, I need to double check what I wrote down, but I think it's a box of AOA to the winning Top Cut team. We are then going to give. No, sorry, that was rubbish. We're going to give 9.
Isn't it half a box to the winners, half a box to second?
No, it was 3/4 of a box to winners, 3 decks to second, and then 3 decks to the 3rd and 4th place of the Top Cut, and then half a box to the winner of the 3rd cut, if my maths is right there.
The second cut is being sponsored by Sloppy Labbook, who aren't in KOTE 10.
No, they could not get their last player lined up. It's really unfortunate, but we're grateful of them to sponsor.
It's a real shame. They were struggling to just get a 3rd person. They were looking around everywhere. It's a real shame, but they have offered to sponsor the winners for the second cut. I believe they said they'll do some decks for them. But a big shout out to the Russell boys. They've been avid supporters.
Oh, brilliant supporters
of KOTE. And going back to the artwork for KOTE 10, the KOTE 9 art prints have just gone to all our red tier Patreon subscribers, and the KOTE 10 art has just started. So basically in 3 months' time, or after 3 payments to Patreon will send you out a print of the KOTE 10 art, and it's something we've been doing for a while now, and everyone seems to be quite happy with what they're getting from it.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I'm loving these prints. So, and it's great to see. So, now let's move on to how Chris can screw up a live demo of our format, or going through KOTE 10 format again.
Yeah.
So, entry's now closed. If you still want to sign up and register, I'll be frank here, unless you fit in one of the places we have a gap, the answer is going to be no. And this is the first time I
think it's unless you're wanting to play in the American time zone, it's going to be an issue.
I'm just checking. Yeah, we have one spot we arguably have 1 or 2 spots in the American time zone, and we have 1 or 2 spots in the Asian time zone. We have nothing in Europe. Already Europe is being overflowed to Asia and US.
If you're willing to play those time zones, you'd essentially just be replacing the bye in a couple of groups.
Yeah.
But it'd be starting from round 2, because it'd be unfair round 1 with the decks already being live and everything for you to be able to go, yeah, sure.
Well, they're not live yet. They won't be live till tomorrow. So if you can do it before the decks go live tomorrow, we'll let you in this round. But the key thing here is decks aren't changing round to round this time. They are going to be the same. So what?
Well,
Go ahead.
technically, the decks you're playing are changing, but the actual decks are
Yeah.
fixed.
The pool of decks. So what we've got is every team has submitted 5 decks, one from each house. One from each house. No, one from each set. One SAS 60, one 65, 70, 75, and 80.
Well, those are the maximum caps.
Maximum.
As Andrew pointed out in the Discord, if you wanted to, you could submit 5 under 60 and just decide in which places you wanted to put.
Ultimo, just to answer your question, the link to the new KOTE site will be showing in the next few minutes. I'm just waiting for it to go live. Just waiting for my last check out my last exchange before I put it up. So yeah, we will go through it and show you the link in a few minutes, and then I will talk to CKM to update their links.
I have just received an image from Pampaka Beecher, who have received their KOTE 9 sleeves and playmat.
Finally, that's awesome. That's only taken 2 weeks.
I sent it on the 1st, and it has arrived there today. Hopefully, Woozle will then send them out there, but it's great to see the prizes get there.
Yeah, definitely. So as we're saying, you've got 5 decks submitted. Then each week we will spin the wheel of spinniness. The wheel of spinniness will determine, firstly, which SAS max the captain is having to use. So if 70 has come, the decks assigned that with the max cap of 70 will be played, and then blue and then red. But the same cap won't be used for 2 different colours in the same week.
So we'll get the roulette table and we'll spin it for the captain. If it lands on 80, 80 will then be removed from the pool. We'll spin the roulette table again for blue. If it lands on, say, 60, then there's only 3 choices left for red, and we spin it again.
Yeah.
And that's why it's a SAS roulette.
So, at this point, let's do it. Let's spin it. So this is live. This is going to be the real thing. So here we have a spinning wheel. Here we have 60, 65, 70, 70, 75. And we are going to spin the wheel. So the captain will be the first one every week. So this week the captains will be using a SAS of 60. Can you please write this down on Discord, Brett, so I don't forget?
I'm going to write this down on paper.
Well, that's fine. So then we're going to remove 60, and now we're going to spin it for blue. So blue's SAS cap will be 80, the 80 SAS deck.
This feels eerily familiar to what we did over the weekend.
It's a different, yeah, it's a different website. And then finally we have red. Red will be doing 65.
And you'll always play against your own colour in the opposite team. So you're not going to be coming across a different... You're not going to be coming across an 80 when you're playing 60.
Mm-hmm.
You'll always be playing the opposite colour. But you won't always be playing the same set. You might... So the captain game of 60, one person might bring colour, the other person might bring DT. And as we showed on Sunday, that can lead to some quite interesting games.
Yeah. There were some great games on Sunday. My God, was I rusty. So, I think the time has come now. Let's sort of go through and introduce the teams. Now, I've lost the something tab I need. So let me just... So this is currently... There is a few known bugs with the new KOTE directory. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to...
I think Madrid Archons are bringing the lowest SAS deck at 49, with Can't Touch This bringing a 50, thinking they would be the lowest. Which is quite interesting.
Disappointed. Can't Touch This, think they're the lowest again. And so I'm going to now put into the Discord, and I'll do it into the Twitch chat as well. And I need to ask CKM to get it updated on site at their site as well.
I'm sure when Simon's done playing Pokemon, he'll be able to do that. I love the fact I can see what people play on Discord. This is fun.
What's that?
On Discord, you can see who's playing what.
Yeah. So where's Twitch gone? Twitch is here. 1 second. So I'm going to put the link in the Twitch now. So this is the new site. The first round stuff. The decks are not yet live. Why are the decks not yet live? Well, they might be. I can't remember if I put that thing out.
You were working on it, but I don't know if you actually got it done. Let's have a look.
Yeah. So can you, once you confirm, you can see the screen.
No, it doesn't like the decks alive to me at least in the Mars group.
Okay, so what we have here is your same formats before. We have all the groups. We have the teams.
Pairings alive.
Pairings are live. That's what I thought. The decks are not live yet. They will be here shortly. By that I mean within 24 hours. I just need to finish getting all the plugging through. And we have sort of round 1 and round 2 will be announced in 6 days, 22 hours and 44 seconds. That may increase to a little bit.
Because unlike last time, we don't need to announce the rounds ahead of time.
And once again, we still have the concept of side pots. So if this is your first event, you will be listed here. We have less new teams than before, but that's not too surprising. And a lot of these teams have existing players that we've seen before. I think, if not all of them, including myself, who's in this one. Look, I'm in this team.
The majority of new teams are definitely made up of people from past events, ranging from KOTE 1 to KOTE now. We've had a lot of people come back just to take part as being part of our final event, which is really cool.
Oh, that's been amazing to see, to be honest. That really has been. So, the other thing is, we've got 3 Americas groups, we have 2 Asia groups, and we have 3 European groups. And when I say that, this is a very much a loose definition of Americans and Hamburg Atlanteans too, and some multinational teams. Europe.
But that's because Hamburg Atlanteans 2 literally got theirs in like 2 hours after the deadline.
That's only an hour after the deadline. And then we have Europe, not counting Latvia, Ukraine, Russia. And then we have Asia, including Latvia, Ukraine, and Russia. Just so we can try and have sort of 7 or 8 teams in each group.
I'm loving some of the names we've got this time as well.
Yeah, I mean, they have got some old faithfuls here as well, but RIP for Kip, Colorado Gruins.
The broken algorithm.
That is Kifos Granada's new name, because they're Kifos Granada, Barcelona, Mamouts, and a few others.
Jay Atkins, the cunning freewheeler inclusive advert. I don't know if that's meant to be a deck name that they've just put in there, or if that's actually a team name, but eh.
Well, you also can't go to their team page because that breaks it for some reason. I need to work out why.
That was their plan all along. You can't check out their decks because it's broken the algorithm.
Well, it's not so much broken the algorithm, it's broken my injection hacking support. And which is good, it should break it, but it should kind of do other stuff before that. So I need to dig into why that's happening as well. But anyway, let's go through the disc group here. So we have ABR Roll Paddies, Coast to Coast, if it ain't broke,
It's Colorado, so it'd be
Colorado Gruins, Not Much to Protect, Ripped, Team Casina, and the Tumbler Time Hogs. I mean, this group.
The Tubular Time Hogs this time not featuring Jupiter, which they did in their first combat.
Yep. Who's Jupiter playing with this time?
Jupiter is playing. Oh, I knew this one.
I've got to dig it out.
I don't want to say, but he's. I don't think he's any of these groups.
So anyway, but from here we can see this has got Rip, which is used to be Kip. So this is what those teams. Team Casino are always a brilliant team to watch. ABR again, another great team. So this has got a number of good teams in it. So
and Team Rip being the KOTE 8 winners would probably be the ones to watch in the group. But Team Casino, the Opad Evil Twins, Not Much to Protect, have given and even 8 Broke went really far in the last 2 events. So it's just like the last event. It's a smaller event than we had, say, KOTE 7 or KOTE 8.
But there's still 60 teams.
Yeah, it's a high caliber of team. It's going to be a high caliber of teams.
Yeah. So which is the match for you to watch in this one, do you reckon?
For me, it would probably be Coast to Coast and Rip.
For me, if it ain't broken, Team Casino.
Yeah, that would be my second choice.
Yeah. Alright, let's
with ABR and Not Much to Protect in a close third.
Definitely, yeah. So now we move on to another American group with the amazing Jay Atkins, the cunning free leader inclusive archive, which does nothing. So I'll work out why that does that later today. So here we have Disillusioned, well-known team, back a number of times. Key Forgery, Miguel's Mavericks. So there's 3 new teams in this group, and then the final 3 of Welsh Infections and the very well-known Americans, Hamburg Atlanteans 2.
According to Ultimo, the page can't be reached, but it still can be for me.
Which page is he going to?
No, I think the actual link you put in the chat.
I thought I put this one in the chat. 1 second, Ultimate. Let me just jump to OBS.
We've only got one final Swindle team in, but it's Karen, Woody, and Catlord, so it's a very strong team with some very good players in there. Welsh Fetchman. Hamburg Atlanteans 2 are outside their time zone, which might affect their gameplay, but they're still probably one of the strongest teams in the group. If it's KFPL or KOTE, I never take my eyes off the Hamburg Atlanteans.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. So, the other thing, Ultimo, you're the UK, so what I'm thinking is that reason it should work for you. If not, we'll have a look after this. Then we move on to our first Asian group. We have 2 Indonesian. We have a total of 4 Indonesian teams, 2 Malaysian, 2 Vietnam, a Hong Kong, and a few others, and 3 Russians, a Latvian, and a Ukrainian team across the 2 Asian groups. So this has been a fun one to schedule and share out. So what we have here is we have Officer Empan, Officer Dua. Dua were here in the last event. HKB, or Humanity Keyforge Bros, was here in the last event as well. Lickle, they were a champion, were they not previously? Or very close to?
Lickle got to top 4 in their first cut.
I think there's some from the original Team Mavericks as well who are one of our only double winners.
Yeah.
Then we've got 3 Witches, Centralus, and Doom the Wandering Forgers, DWF.
DWF really caught my eye just because it's such a nice name. I don't really recognise anyone from within it, so I feel like something back of my mind is saying that these are the dark horses of the group, and because it's their first event, we have no information on them, so I'll be definitely keeping a close eye on these guys, and I might have to make them one of the featured games moving down the line.
I mean, in that case, from what you just said, the first match I'd want to see is Doomed versus HKB.
Yeah,
HKB is a good, solid team. Not always the luckiest, but a good, solid team.
I might reach out for that one because it's been a while since we've seen HKB play.
Yeah, let's go for it, man. Let's see. So we're going to move on now to Sanctum. Oh, of course, with European team, we have Hamburg Atlanteans 1, we have KFPT, the Portuguese Keyforge Team Generosity, used to be Portuguese Generosity. We have Miserable Nonsense, which is half a Team Archimedes. We have No Kind of Thanks to Austria.
Yeah, the Archimedes and Mavericks mixed together.
Yeah. No Kind of Thanks to Austria. Not Finished with Your Mamook. From Italy, used to be called Not Finished with Your Mum, but we asked them to change their name. We've only asked 2 teams to change their names in total in the entire event. Screech Babom, I said it right. Proud.
You did.
And then we have the specialist sofa. What's it? The Steel City Snufflegators, or SCS. This is Sofa Center Specialist, or something like that. Yes.
Now, usually my eyes would be immediately drawn to Hamburg Atlanteans 1 taking on Not Finished with Your Mamook.
Yep.
That is an amazing matchup there. But my eyes were immediately drawn to Miserable Nonsense versus the Steel City Snufflegators.
Nah, I'd go the first one still, man.
That is good. That is going to be a really good game, and if they're up for travelling, they could probably play it in real IRL.
That would be a bizarre experience. I'm actually travelling up. How far north am I going in a couple of weeks' time? I need to find out. I'm off to Germany in a few weeks as well, so I don't know if I'm going to run into any of the German groups, but not going to Hamburg.
I am going absolutely nowhere. The other half is going to Netherlands, then going to Belgium for a con, then going to London for a con, and then going to an exclusive screening of the new My Hero Academia movie at the invite of Funimation.
How jealous are you for that one?
Not as much, not as bad as I would be if it was like kind of like, like what they did for key workers at Loki. But the fact is, I could go if I want to, but it's not fair to my mother-in-law to ask her to watch Flynn that entire weekend in October when she's already agreed to watch him for a weekend in November when we go to Birmingham for a week, to get away for a little bit.
Yeah, no, I get that. Far too generous. Anyway, going on to the next European group, we've got Better Call KOTE, Can't Touch This, previous champions, Amberium, KFPT, Last Minute is the Best Minute. They weren't even remote to Last Minute for deck submissions. Madrid Archons with, as we said, SAS 49 deck that's in there.
Yeah.
So Salty, the French Imp, and cross-channel Titan Mechanics. Apparently I'm German, but as far as I know, in our group there is an two Englishmen, and a Frenchman.
There's 2 English. I don't know what's happened there because you and Dan are definitely not German.
Well, we might not be German when I finish.
There's some definitely ones in there, and you've got Last Minute is Best Minute, which is made up of a few Manchester Mavericks players who won KOTE 2.
Oh,
very strong team in there. But you have also got So Salty, Madrid Archons, KPT, Amber Minimum, Better Call KOTE, Can't Touch This. This is a really stacked EU group.
It wasn't easy to divide, I'll tell you that. Alright, moving on to the next Asian in East Europe group.
You can tell that there's no favoritism when you're playing because you put yourself in probably the toughest EU group.
I'd say all the 3 EU groups are actually fairly equal. I actually put myself where the space was. So we're going to move on to the second Asian and Eastern Europe group. We have BOG, which used to be Brain Games Latvia, and I'm really sad to say they've changed their name, but they were perfectly allowed to. It's within the rules. But they've been around since KOTE 3 or KOTE 2 with the same name all the way through. But hey, times change. Then we have Com Officer Lima, Com Officer Satu. Again, Satu did pretty well last time. D20 Primus, again, top of the group last time for Vietnam.
Oh yeah, they got really far, didn't they?
And then we have Kluchki from Ukraine, Lance from Malaysia, another new team, and the Russian Smiths are back again to stomp over everybody, I'm sure.
Oh, the Russian Smiths, what was it? KOTE 8.
Yeah.
Just the games that we saw of theirs were absolutely insane.
Oh, that's an understatement. They just stomped.
I think as strong as the Asian games are, I think the Russian Smiths are my pick to at least get to the qualifiers here.
Yeah, I think Russian Smith and the D20 Primus will, but I mean, we've got some new teams in here as well. I mean, we've got to wait and see what comes around.
And I might have to come back to this group when D20 Primus take on Russian Smiths.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be interesting to see. So, moving on to Unfathomable. Yeah, another American group. ABR Bulletproof Boots, which are formerly Rocket Boots. Cloggings, Reckless Pirates, which actually includes someone from Australia. New York City.
I was going to say about that. That's a bit weird.
Parachabicha, Floxible, and Repout. I mean,
that's Jupiter's Green, Floximal.
So yeah, this is a insane group. It doesn't help that we actually had the finalists. I worked out I put them in the same group, but that's kind of how the cookie crumbled at this point. New York City and Parachabicha.
So I'm coming back to this group for the rematch, right?
Yeah, well, you can see where it is if you look at the spreadsheet.
I can.
Yeah, I think I shared with you the spreadsheet. Yeah.
Yes, you did. Yes.
Go to the Unfathomable group.
So you have.
And while you're
that be? Oh, that might not be possible. That's a shame. If it falls between round 3 and essentially round 5, I'm not going to be staying up till like 3-4 o'clock in the morning when the other half's away. So that might be a bit of an issue.
We'll do the best we can. If we can't do it, we can't do it. And now we're going to another very tough European group. Jill's Arts Chosen, Hamburger Lanterns 3, Key Frogs, KFDP Aubergines, which is CKM, used to be Crazy Killing Aubergines, Seeker Needles, Clippy Time Hogs, Progressive Switch, and the Broken Algorithm, formerly Keyforge Granada.
Clippy Time Hogs is, again, another really interesting one. You've got George as captain from the Manchester Mavericks, Seb of the Team Archimedes, and Russell Ruffino. Very strong players. It looks like the UK, all the UK teams are a nice mixed match of the strongest players around.
Yeah.
And rather than playing with in their usual formats with their usual teams, they've sort of mixed and matched between Archimedes and the Manchester Mavericks with a couple of urchins straight out. It's nice to see, and it's going to be interesting to see how that affects the actual team compositions as well.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, this group may not look quite as strong as the other two European groups, but if you think that, you're wrong.
No, this group is essentially is if every group has a dark horse, this group has 8.
I think every group has 6 dark horses, pretty much, or 2 expected, well expected.
Looking at this, I cannot see which team is going to come out on top or which is going to be at the bottom. Key Frogs got top of Group 5 in their first event, and have consistently got better with every event.
Oh yeah.
Hamburg Lanskins 3 are always hungry to get to the win, and looking at who they've got in here, Finchmaster, Konichi, Kuntip is going to be really interesting. Seeking Noodles, the Portuguese Aubergines, Baguette and Switch. This is a start group.
Definitely. Definitely. Right. And that's all the groups.
Yeah.
So, as I keep saying, we have the ability to side pot. So if you'd like to have your own side pot for your own country or your own group or just whatever reason you want, let us know. We can create one without problem. When you come to record your results, there's a nice results button here, also up there, and that takes you to here. Now, you may notice here there are currently no teams on this list apart from Zion's crew. That will change straight off the stream. I just didn't want to start putting stuff in there while still having people coming in.
The decks haven't gone live yet, so if there's any results coming in now, that's really sus.
Well, the decks don't have to be live, but yeah. But the decks will be going live probably tonight, possibly tomorrow morning. It all depends on why it's not working at the moment. And then I can go and fix that issue.
It's midday on Monday. If you do need an extension, please do let us know in advance. We are quite forgiving on them, but we do need to know what's going on, and then if you do come to us midnight Monday going, I've not been able to play my game, we are more likely to say tough luck than if you come to us on Friday going, I'm struggling to organise my game, can I get an extension? The more time you give us to be able to deal with it, the more likely we are going to be able to find the more satisfactory outcome.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, if you say we have a scheduling conflict with them, we've been talking for a few days, we've not managed to make anything happen, we'll be forgiven. If you tell me it's 6 o'clock on Monday, I reserve the right to tell you to fuck off.
I don't know, Ultimo. We'll look into it, but maybe it'll be fixed once we get it all synced up with the Crazy Killer Machine.
Yeah, Ultimo, can you just tell me what browser you're using? Are you using IE, Edge, Chrome, Firefox, Safari?
Who uses Edge?
I do because it's better than IE. Not that I've used it for this one, actually.
Oh, he's on Edge.
Okay, let me just give it a
No.
Okay, just going to give it a try from Edge myself.
I was part of the release
No.
Edge party in the UK, and they were boasting about how it's the fastest internet browser around, and it beat Chrome. And then I actually went away and looked it up. I was like, does it though?
It actually is pretty good. Okay, it's fine on Edge for me, but I'm not the best test. Can you try an Edge on yours later, Brett? Because
Do I even have Edge on here? Did I install it? I do have Edge. Yay.
Oh, 1 second.
Oh God, no! I don't want to. I don't want to update my browser settings. I don't want to use it as my default. Get out of here, Edge. Works for me on Edge. I don't know what's going on there, Ultimo.
Okay, Doctor, we'll have a look. Maybe got something more locked down, and we'll go from there.
If it's not working after we've got it all hooked up with Crazy Killer Machine, if you PM Chris directly, it'll be easier to work out what's going on.
I'm just going to stop my dog barking.
But yeah, really excited for this event. Sorry if I'm not full of my usual energy. I did not sleep well, and I've been up since 6. A little man's now in school, so I'm still adjusting to a different sleep schedule. But really excited for this event. Really excited to see everybody come in, and I can't believe the influx of teams we had. I think it was Sunday night I put on there saying we had 20 teams.
Yeah, 46 by the time we got out of bed. Yeah.
And that's literally tripled by the close of registration. But it's absolutely insane. It's one of the things we always say. This event, as much as work as me and Chris put into it, this event would not be possible without you, the players. And over the last 2 years for me, 3 years for Chris, we
Yeah.
have loved organising this event for you. And even when we were having trouble with some teams, it's still overall been more fun to do these events than it has been annoying.
Yeah, and the only thing I'm really sad by is we always intended to take the coach show and do more with it, especially as COVID was coming to an end. So we get out, see some of the big events, get other people to do sort of guest report stuff, and we've not managed to do that, and we've not managed to do that for a couple of reasons. Firstly, COVID, and secondly, I don't think it's something the community needed or community wanted, because I'm not saying we got zero support, but after 2 months, I gave up pushing it. And so I'm really proud of what we've done, as Brett's saying.
Yeah. There's a lot of podcasts out there. There's lots of we had a dream for the coach show to become more like a visual podcast where we'd go through weekly events, and if there was events near us, we'd go out and film and talk to people and go to vault tours and do stuff like that. But
COVID.
But COVID, the Delta variants came along, and this was back when Germany had its vault tour in May, which immediately got demolished. So basically, the lack of events, the lack of organised play, meant that what we wanted to do with the coach show kept getting delayed, and having this dream, having this ambition to get it going, and having it constantly get pushed back, is a little soul destroying. It destroys your motivation for it because you want to get on with it. You want to get this envisioned piece out, and you can't because the world around you is unable to accommodate it.
Yeah. And as I say, we are still looking forward to this last event. We're not trying to be negative here and be a downer here, but we want to be open and honest, and I want to be sensibly transparent. I'm not going to say I'm completely impressed with FSG's. This is why we're delayed. The set transparency, because for me, that as an IT professional, for me, that just sounds like they're just stupid. Why would I trust them again?
The amount of people pointing out that what the hiatus actually means when you look at games like Destiny and Netrunner and all the other games that went on hiatus only to be completely shelved or dismissed a few months later.
Yeah,
it's a real shame. Keyforge might get its second life on the online client, and that might be where they go. And if it's really good, hell, we might even come back. But we're at this moment in time, at the end of this event, KOTE will be stopping, and we are going to keep emphasising this point, because there are a few people that are thinking that if the event's big enough, if it's fun enough, we'll keep it going. We really won't be. But we're not going to be downers about it. We're going to essentially celebrate what KOTE has been, not mourn where it's going.
And there are lots of people who are looking at taking over the mantle. The only condition we have is you aren't using the KOTE name. That's our baby. But we will happily tell you why you should not do this and support you getting started and the effort going in, because as Jupiter said before, you don't understand the amount of background work and politics and bullshit that go on running an event. It's hard to believe.
This is why we didn't announce it at the end of the event. This is why we've been transparent from the beginning, because we want this time now, 13, 14 weeks that we've got
to be good
of KOTE 10 going, for anybody else out there who wants to run a team-based event to come and talk to us, come and find out what they need to know, come and ask us any questions. So when this event's over, there will be a new group or a new set of people ready to take over, ready to fill the gap that we're going to leave, because we don't want team-based events to end. We just want to stop doing them.
And that doesn't mean we're not going to come back and do it for a different format next year. I doubt we'll do it before next year.
Well, it depends on how the game goes. It depends on where me and Chris are going, because Chris's workload keeps increasing, and my wife's workload's increasing, which means the amount of stuff I'm doing is increasing at home.
Yep. Yeah, so Karen has announced she's thinking of doing something, and I'm going to chat to her in a few weeks' time to tell her why she shouldn't. Because the same way I'll tell everyone why they shouldn't, not just her. Don't get me wrong.
And from what I hear, KFPL is going to be going on under some big rebranding as well, which is going to be really interesting to see as well.
Awesome. How's that? Well, we're coming up to 45 minutes after the start, and I need to go and get the tech list up. So let's bring today to a close a little bit quicker than normal.
Yeah, the first week's always shorter. We'll be definitely back next week, but we'll have the quiz, we'll have gameplay, we'll have the usual stuff back. This is more just the introduction to KOTE 10 and seeing how everyone in the community is.
Yeah, so great to see everyone. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you all back here next week. All 8 of you, or 10.
I don't have anyone to raid.
Oh, that's depressing. It's a bit too early.
It basically just means that
Team Covenant.
I can't. Oh, yeah, they are online.
Yeah, they are. They're on my list.
Okay, yeah. It's not on the KOTE list. To play Flesh and Blood, that'd be fine.
Anyway, guys, have a great week, and we will catch up with you next week. And Ultimo, if you don't have it working in 24 hours, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll have a think. Good luck, everyone.
Good luck, everybody, and good luck in round 1.